Hello and welcome to the OSTAT podcast, hosted by us, the duo. For anyone new here, my name is Vincent.
And I'm Reese, and today we are going to talk about photography ethics.
Yes, sir. So let's get into it.
Yes,
Before, is there anything you want to share?
We had a really exciting weekend.
We did.
I'm a very big fan of the shoot we had this weekend.
We had a graduation shoot.
Our first of the season. Very
and
busy season.
It was very beautiful. It's editing very beautifully right now.
I'm so excited about it.
We will share that very soon.
Anything else happened this week?
We had dinner with Kayla, Freddie, and Sebastian.
Oh, yes.
That was a lot of fun.
Oh, and I'm a godmother.
Yep.
Yep. And we also went to Temecula for lunch with Dad, and it poured on us, and there was no rain in the forecast.
It made for an interesting trip.
Honestly, it was one of those moments where, like, you wish that you could just, like, pause and, like, rewatch
Yeah.
the three of us trying to, like, run through and
It was funny. I
getting
liked it.
soaked. It was so much fun. And it was our cousin Angel's 18th birthday. So
Happy birthday to you.
Correct. But I think that's it.
Yeah. Good weekend all around.
I'm really excited.
For anyone wondering why we keep looking down, it's because we just put a monitor down there. Normally it's above there, and now it's down there. So if that's...
I haven't looked down once.
I've looked down a lot. So... All right, so let's get into it. We are going to go over... This is a list that we had gotten off the internet, and we're just going to talk. We're going to go over every single one and talk about them. The first one... So these are the ethics of photography on the streets and stuff. The first one...
So in public spaces.
In public spaces, yeah.
Okay.
The first one is consent. And they have it, while it's not always possible to get explicit permission for every photo taken in public, be mindful of subjects' comfort and privacy.
So is this like if someone's in the background walking?
I guess so.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the time you take them out anyway.
I feel like it's not necessary to ask those people because you are in a public space.
Correct.
You
yeah,
know?
no, I think so too. However, if I say like we were doing like a restaurant and people are trying to enjoy their dinner and we had like a shoot, then I feel like it'd be a little bit different because we've been hired to do like birthday dinners.
Yeah, but
at restaurants, but we most of the time it's in like a...
I think if you're in a situation like that, it's just angle the camera away from them. Like, don't point it directly at the people or, like, even in their view. Like, if you can see them in your viewfinder, then fix it.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's consent, pretty much. Number 2 is respect. Treat your subjects with dignity and respect. We always treat our subjects with dignity and respect. Thank you. Avoid exploiting vulnerable or what? Ignore that last part.
Yeah.
What even is that last part? We have very much respect for our clients. We love our clients. We treat our clients the way that we want to be treated. So
absolutely. I just feel like that's not even a question.
Oh.
I mean, I'm this list so far is a little interesting because I feel like it's just... I mean, it is ethics, so ethics is common sense.
Common sense.
You know? Let's just talk about common sense and ethics because they're pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, I guess it's not the same thing for everybody.
Yeah.
Because maybe not everybody has the common sense for ethics, but I don't know. We treat everyone with dignity and respect.
We do.
Treat others the way that you would like to be treated.
These are facts.
Okay. Can I say the next one?
Yeah.
Authenticity. Aim to capture genuine moments and emotions rather than staging or fabricating scenes. Avoid misleading or deceptive editing techniques that alter the reality of the scene.
Thank you for telling me how to do my job. That's what I'd say.
For this one?
For that one.
Well, that I
don't
like...
know. I mean, I went over this list earlier, but like reading it out loud, it's kind of a boof. It's your very common sense stuff.
Okay, but yeah, but at the same time, photos are photos. Like, say, we stage things a lot. Not stage things like fake things, but like we pose people and things like that.
Yeah, or like if there's a cone in the background, or if there's somebody in the background, we'll take that out.
Yeah.
You know, so
this is fun, guys.
Capture genuine moments. No crap.
No crap.
Like, come on, these people who wrote this list.
You know, we do say that in the moment shots are our favorite.
Those are our favorite. Like if
So-
we'll tell our clients, you know, hug.
But is that really an ethical problem?
I don't know. I think this person has an ethical problem.
Okay, can I say the next one too?
Go for it.
Non-intrusiveness. Blend into your surroundings and try not to disrupt the natural flow of life on the streets. Minimize your presence and avoid interfering with the activities of your subjects.
Minimize your presence. I don't know who they're talking to.
Yeah, that's actually our job too. I think what this one means a little bit more is get your job done. Like if you're shooting in a public place, don't disrupt everything else that's going on around you for your session. Like we would never tell people if they were sitting down eating lunch somewhere, hey, can you leave? Like I'm trying to do a photo shoot here.
Right.
You know, I think that's kind of what they mean. It's
guess
just
so.
making sure that you're not bothering other people.
I guess so, but I feel like something like that would really only you'd only really have to do something like that or think about that if you lived somewhere taking pictures or video in somewhere like what is it, New York, like Times Square.
Good luck.
Like don't disrupt it down there.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to disrupt it down
I feel
there.
like everything's a disruption down there. Just being honest.
Facts. Yeah, but yeah, that's our job. Our job is not to be in your face 24/7 for the time that you hired us. Taking pictures are one of our parts of our job is to stay incognito.
Correct.
So bye.
You should see Vincent. Okay, we had a shoot a couple weeks ago. Sorry, I have to call you out on this. And at this location, they had these like bushes that had like a little walkway so you could go inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so our client saw him go inside of the bushes,
Mm-hmm.
but didn't know what he was doing. I had a feeling. And then all of a sudden we're taking photos and you just hear snap, 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 snap. And they're like, is he in the bushes taking pictures? And I was like, yes, that is his specialty.
That's, you know, and
He finds the strangest places
I have
and he
the
gets the
picture right here.
coolest photos
it was
from
this
it.
picture. Shoot. Can you guys see that?
So he's like in the bushes, but it is so cool.
Am I
Oh,
getting
we're showing off our
notifications?
emails.
From Sheen. Whatever.
So it's like the coolest thing,
I
but
was in the
from where we
bushes.
were standing, we could not see him.
Yeah.
So Vincent really does like to blend in with his
I
surroundings.
like to hide and get different angles, even if they're not the best angles sometimes. It's good to at least try because then you know.
Correct. You'll never know unless you try.
These are facts.
Okay, you want to do the next one?
Yes. You said non-intrusiveness?
Yes.
Okay. Awareness of surroundings. Be mindful of your surroundings and how your presence may impact the environment or the people within it. Respect private property and public spaces.
Okay, I actually have something to say about this one.
Go for it.
And I've been wanting to talk about it on the podcast, but like I just never had the chance to. Like it never came up in a certain way. We were once shooting a wedding
Uh-oh.
at a venue, which it's privately owned. Okay. And we were working with another vendor. And throughout the entire day, I personally watched them tear branches off trees, break things, not like break things bad, but like break the environment around them on this private property to get the shot that they wanted.
No.
And it irked me to my core.
Mm-mm.
Like seriously, and they were trying to explain to us like this is just what you have to do to get the shot. And I was just thinking to myself, you know, I'm not the one doing it, so we're not going to be held responsible. But they were literally like tearing branches off trees, stepping on things, and just like disrupting somebody's private property.
There's instances where, say, if we're trying to get a certain shot and it's by a tree, maybe we'll move a branch. Like, it's right there. We'll just maybe move it up or try
Vincent
to do
will
it
literally
like that.
have me hold it while he gets
something
the
like
shot.
that. But we won't break the branch off or, you know,
No,
anything
they were like
that.
breaking branches
No.
off trees,
No.
throwing them, and I was just like, ooh. So the private property part, that really bothered me. And mind you, if we are in a public space and there's like trash on the side of the road or like trash in the way of what we're doing, it's usually Vincent will move it. But to like It's just disrespectful to me. So yes, I do think that this is a good one on this list.
Treat where you shoot like it's your own.
Yeah, just be mindful.
Be mindful and have common sense. Don't be dumb, because by you doing that, by you breaking branches off or you littering, can ruin it for other photographer and videographers.
I would like to say another thing. We've never done this, and nor I don't think I've ever seen it happen, but I've thought about it. We shoot a lot at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're shooting at the beach, you know, we have to put our stuff down somewhere. I wonder if anybody, like a photographer, has ever moved other people's belongings to get a certain shot. You know, like people set their stuff down and then they go on walks on the beach or they go in the water. Like,
well, if they're good photographer, they'll know Photoshop.
You'd be surprised. That being said, I do not know how to use Photoshop, but that's why we're a duo.
That's why I'm here.
I don't need to because Vincent will do it. But I wonder if, like, in that sense too, it is a public space, but moving other people's belongings to get a shot you want, I feel like that's also an ethics issue.
Yeah, never do that. Never touch
Yeah.
anybody else's belongings. And we don't want someone coming up and touching our belongings. We don't want someone coming and picking up our camera bag or
I
our
would flip.
flashes or anything like that.
I would
So we
honestly flip
wouldn't do
out.
that to anybody else. So just going over this list, which it's a pretty boof list to begin with. I don't know who wrote the list.
If I had to, can we add in our own things that, like, is not on the list?
Definitely.
There's a few things ethics wise that Vincent and I were just talking about a few days ago, but I would like to expand on it, is when you have a session and say the person's hair is just not right. Okay. Say it's like this. I'm sure this is how my hair looked beforehand. Don't look at Vincent's. It's always right. And before you walk up to a client and just touch their hair or touch, you know, a piece of their clothing or things like that, ask them first, like, hey, can I fix your hair? Or
right, because you don't know if somebody, maybe they have a sensory issue,
sensory
or maybe
germs.
they don't, maybe they're germaphobe, or, you know, something like that. It's always nice to just ask, you know, if they have a piece of hair hanging off or if they have a piece of lint. There's also,
personally, I don't like being touched. It's
no,
just like a thing I don't like being touched.
no,
But
yeah.
if you ask me and I feel comfortable with the situation, yeah, of course, go ahead. And so I just feel like that's something that you really want to ask.
Yeah.
But then something that we just talked about a couple days ago is acne, scars, things like that,
Yeah.
editing things out. I feel like it's an ethics issue to go ahead and do things like that if you were not previously asked by the client to do so.
Yeah.
Touch-ups, I mean, I don't see that's as bad, but say I have, you know, a nice scar on my arm. It's not going away.
Yeah.
It's always there. And you take that out or even weight.
Yeah.
If you slim down or, you know,
Don't
bulk
do
up
that.
your clients without asking them first, I think that is so morally wrong.
We are very much against, like, we joke around with clients. They'll joke around with us. We'll joke around with them, whatever. But, you know, people always say, oh, can you shed a couple pounds off of, you know, me or whatever. But that's not good. That's not good for you.
And no, but if you do it and you don't ask them first. Okay,
Yeah,
imagine
that's a
thinking
big
that you
no-no.
looked amazing one day and you get your photos back or your video back. Oh, you can't do it to video. If you get your photo back and this person's completely like morphed your body, it is like the number one ethics thing for me. Even scars, okay? Because that's a permanent part of your body. Maybe
Yeah.
you love your scar. But
Scar,
since
I
someone
always
else is-
say scars tell stories.
someone else is taking it off, well, then it's going to make me think, well, did they find it ugly? Did
Yeah.
they, you know? So that's like, I think on the top of my list for ethics of what not to do is change people's bodies without
I
them
also think,
asking.
too, like, say if a teenager, you know, has acne or something like that, that it's important to, or like if the mom or the dad is going to ask you to, like, remove acne or acne scars, to do it away from the teenager, because it's kind of messed up. That happened to me when I was
Oh,
when
okay,
I
yeah,
was
but we
doing
don't-
senior photos
You're saying have the parents ask us when we're not standing in front of the teenager.
in private.
Okay.
Or
yeah, I get
if,
what you
like,
mean.
if we're going to ask or whatever, just because some people do want it, and during the shoot you forget,
Mhm.
you know, ask away from.
I
you
don't
know.
think there's anything specifically with acne. I don't
No,
think
'cause
there's
it's
anything
just-
wrong
it's
with us
just-
asking, hey, do you want
No.
us to remove it? I would never, for teenagers specifically, because I feel like they are in an emotional time of their life.
Yeah, it's a big
It's a
moment in their
hard
life.
time in their life.
Yeah.
It's stressful. I don't think it's right to ask the kid themselves. But I don't think that there's anything wrong because acne is temporary. You know?
Yeah.
It won't be there forever. It might be gone tomorrow.
And the same thing with like weight too. You know, you don't want to shed a couple pounds off in a photo or something like that, because that's not actually how you look. You know, the next time you hire us, maybe you naturally shed those pounds off, and then you can look back at your old photos and your new photos and be like, wow, I'm proud I actually did that or whatever, you know?
I would just never do it without.
Don't do
them
it like
asking.
with like that's for another episode. Is the ethics of Photoshop.
Yeah,
and
that's
what
a
to
big
do and what not to do and stuff. And you know, we understand if it's acne, because we'll do it for ourselves too. If we take a photo and I got a pimple right here, or whatever, I'll edit it off because I know it's just temporary. So, but that's definitely for another episode about the Photoshop.
That's
ethics.
just like the only like ethics like right now that I think is not on this list.
I mean, we've done it where also like with Photoshop where they were wearing a white dress, and after they saw the photos, they thought that it wasn't, they didn't look good in it. And so they asked, can we change the color of the dress to black?
I forgot about that.
And
That was a long time ago.
we changed the color of the dress to black.
I completely forgot
Yeah,
about that.
she was forever thankful. She still is.
So I mean, this list I feel like doesn't even really.
Whoever
crack
made this
into-
list is not a photographer.
No, I don't think so either. But I would just say that that's a really big thing on ethics. Also, just being kind and courteous to people in public spaces. So if someone's trying to walk by and you're trying to get a shot, 99% of the time they will wait. If you're like, stop,
Yeah,
or,
no.
like being rude to them when it's a public space, that's not good ethically. We are always overly nice to the people that do stop for us while we're trying to get a shot. Thank them profusely. Because they don't have to do that.
I can't stand when I see other photographers and they think that the
I have
world,
seen this.
and the world resolves around them. Revolves around them, and they act like complete assholes. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. Where they think that they know everything in the entire book and they know everything in the entire world, and that the world revolves around them. I don't like that attitude. They're not down to earth whatsoever. They're not relatable, and they're not right.
I feel like we've come across a lot of photographers in the wild. And the worst have been when we were shooting at the beach. I don't know why.
There's some people, and these people will they'll pull up with a full ass cart of all their outfit changes and their props and their camera flashes
Which
and
we had
their
no problem
stands,
with.
which is fine. But then they like park it up in the most inconvenient spot, and like nobody else can shoot there. We can't shoot there. Nobody else can shoot there. And then they get out this huge tripod that's like 12 feet wide. Their flash goes up 18 feet high, and they're trying to get a shot. It's not even going to look good for them. But I don't know. I can't stand photographers like that.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what is that there's more good photographers than there is bad photographers.
Absolutely.
And that I mean by the ethics.
Absolutely.
You know?
So I would think those would be my two things that I would like to add.
I like to add anything? I don't think so. All right, now we have some questions. What have we learned? Ready? What have we learned shooting on the streets?
A lot. Depending on where we're shooting. Always be mindful that it's not always clean.
It's not always clean.
We dealt with that
dude.
this weekend. Just be mindful, not only for yourselves, just because of cleanliness, but for your clients, okay? 99% of the time, you're the one recommending these locations to your clients.
Yeah.
It's out of your control if some things are not clean. And when I'm talking like not clean, I mean like not clean. Don't have your clients sit down on a floor that may smell like gross stuff, you know? That's like the number one thing I feel like we've learned, and it was a really big learning lesson this weekend.
We just went through it this weekend, and we have shot at that location so many times before. And I think this last weekend, it was the filthiest and just unappealing place. It was terrible.
It makes me sad.
It was bad. I mean, we were up on a parking garage, and our client was changing, and so we had went off to go find a different spot so that we can take some pictures. And we went over there. We found a spot. Sat down. I got closer, and there was an odor.
I sat down, of course.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice, but
I mean,
our client did end up making a comment about it later on.
No, yeah, I mean, we were taking a photo. It was beautiful. It was at Arches and had these beautiful lights, beautiful ground, and then on the left side there was something on the wall, and it freaked our client out, and it's pathetic.
It's really sad. And I just would say that what we've learned shooting in public areas is just to be mindful of our surrounding areas.
Oh yeah,
mindful.
Like when we go down to a place like that, we always make sure, because we know that there's gonna be some character sometimes, because it's very populated. And so we make sure that we let it see what we carry.
You have to now, or else they're gonna think it's something else.
We carry bear spray, which is totally legal. We carry bear spray on us.
There you go. And it's not just characters. It's just when places are so populated, it's very difficult to keep things. I mean, some cities have difficulties keeping places clean. And so the overall point of this is just to be mindful for your clients so that they don't feel uncomfortable in any way or are upset in any way. We want them to be as happy as possible. Okay, can I ask you the next one?
Yeah.
I'd
like to go more into that subject, but I won't.
No. Have we ever run into a Karen while shooting on the streets? If we did, what would we do?
I don't think we've run into a Karen before.
One.
We did.
Yeah, but it wasn't really like the it wasn't like a downtown area. It was a lady who called the cops on us.
We told that, yeah. We told that last season about how some old broad, she had saw us bringing a couch into the park. We were doing it for photos. She called the cops, said that we were setting up camp. We told the cops when they got there. They laughed.
We had a client with us.
So
we were actively capturing a family, and we had the police come.
The best thing to do if you do run into a Karen, though, is to just ignore them. Don't talk to them. Don't look at them. Just ignore them. If they try to get in front of your camera, I don't know, just find a different spot or whatever.
I don't think we've ever come across one. We've had a few Karens at weddings, like wedding guests that were Karens. But
there's always, what did I name the lady last time? Aunt Judy or something?
Yeah.
It's always going to be an Aunt Judy who shows up with her iPhone or shows up with her camera that, is from 1922.
Yeah.
She's gonna show up with this one, but she's gonna think it's digital.
Yeah. Or some wedding guests that make me feel like I'm turning into a Karen just because they anger me so bad.
I can't
with their phones. But overall, no, I don't think it's been bad. Just getting the cops called on us, no big deal.
Whatever.
No big deal. What is the most difficult part about shooting on the streets?
I wrote down here. Can I read what I wrote?
Sure.
Can I?
Sure.
I wrote people and crap on the street.
Literally. It's so sad. Like, it makes me so sad. Honestly, it does. But it's very difficult to work around.
But yeah, it makes it difficult for us, and I know it makes it difficult for the client. Because in a spot where normally maybe we'd have our clients sit down because it'd be a beautiful shot if they sat down, they can't sit down anymore because, there's stuff on the ground or who knows, we don't know what was there.
Yeah.
So it's sad to see, and it's very disappointing to see. So
it'd be nicer if there were more resources so that people could, or the cities could, clean and make sure that everything was good on that end.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see.
And we do deal with a lot of people too in the background of photos, but thank God Vincent's a master of Photoshop. So
but
yeah,
maybe one day, Next question: does shooting on the streets equal more Photoshop?
Yeah.
Short answer is yes. Why?
Gum on the sidewalks, trash on the sidewalks.
Yeah, I mean, we're about to send out a wedding today, and looking back at the photos, they're beautiful photos, but you look down on the ground and there's 1,000 pieces of gum, or there's a construction cone,
no smoking sign,
or no smoking signs, or just, I don't know, something in the background or on the ground, and we will get rid of that. So it does make for
Nature
more.
photography, I feel like the only things we really Photoshop is like
If maybe someone's
If-
hair, it gets a little windy, so their hair kind of gets a little crazy.
or if it's not taken care of, like the area and there's some
Yeah.
trash.
Now we're looking right now for new location options, and so we're taking this into mind on the cleanliness of the spot that we pick. The is it easeability? Easeability?
Accessibility.
Not no. So whatever.
Accessibility.
I'm talking about like how close it is where you're gonna park your car to walk to the place.
Accessibility.
Accessibility makes it seem like if someone's like in a wheelchair, they can't get to it.
No, it just means how accessible it is to different spots.
We're trying to find locations that are easy to get to for our clients, because one of the things that we deal with right now is that people will park, but they'll be on a completely different street, because it's in a neighborhood or it's close to a neighborhood or things like that. So
Yeah.
we're taking all of that into account, so that we really just don't have to deal with stuff like that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing about shooting on the streets?
One of my favorite things, I know we were just talking about downtown Riverside, but
We never said that, but
we
we
never
just
said
said
that.
downtown, but
Well, downtown. I mean, where else
Yeah.
is downtown around here? Yeah.
well, a lot of people don't probably know where we live.
By
We don't live in Riverside, by the way.
no, we don't live in Riverside.
So ha.
Ha. Try again. So we were in downtown Riverside. If that's where you wanted to know, it was downtown Riverside. That's where we're having some issues and stuff. If you've been down there, then you know, and you can probably relate to that.
But it's also like one of my favorite downtowns. It's beautiful.
No, but that's what I'm talking about right now, is that one of my favorite things about shooting outside is the architecture of the buildings. Is that, like I was saying about the arches and the lights and the ground and stuff, it's beautiful. It's like you have the old Mission, and then I think there's like the old train station that's right over there. The older buildings, one of them used to be a museum. We just found out this past weekend that they took the museum sign down.
Very upset about it. It's my favorite building.
But like buildings like that are they're beautiful, and they make for really good pictures and backgrounds. I also wrote down, I put architecture and lack thereof, because sometimes if you go to certain cities, the buildings are not friendly to humans.
What do you mean by that?
Like just square buildings that are made out of glass and steel.
Oh, yeah.
Those aren't for humans. Those aren't
Nothing
for
really
us.
Special.
Huh?
Nothing really special.
No, they have no taste. Like it's just
Yeah.
like,
There's no culture.
no, it's nothing. It's
Yeah.
just like they just put it up. It's like anti-human.
Well, if you were to ask me, my favorite thing about shooting on the streets is the different colors of the buildings. So, no, that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah. We were trying to get some beautiful shots, and Reese was kind of ticked off that where we were trying to get the shot, there's different.
it was like color swatches. Like they were trying to figure out what
swatches.
color to paint it,
Yeah.
and it's like
Yeah. I thought it was cool.
I was not happy with it. I just
Yeah.
wanted it one solid color. Different colors, buildings, different architecture. There's always so many different spots, alleyways, arches. It just gives you so many options. Versus if you do nature, I just feel like here's a tree and here's a cactus.
You get a tree. You
Here's
get a tree.
and here's a walkway. Here's an
Yeah.
orange. So, I just love the endless opportunities of shooting in like a downtown area.
Yeah.
And it makes for really nice, creamy photos.
One place I'd really like to shoot, or see if we can shoot there, is downtown Orange.
There's so many people there.
There's people, but
I just feel like
if
it's
you
more
go on
confined,
go on a weekday,
and I feel like, okay, no offense if you live in Orange, I feel like the chances of us running into a Karen is much higher there. Like, have you ever seen anybody shoot there?
I personally have not.
No, me either.
No, I've never seen anybody shoot there, but
And that's spooky.
we can always try it out and see. It's clean there.
Correct. Okay, I have my question of the week for you.
Uh-oh. Let me put this laptop away.
I'm going to split this question into two. What was your biggest learning lesson since we filmed last? And this could be personal, work-wise, sleep-wise, exercise-wise, anything you want. Biggest learning lesson this week.
I would say to the biggest learning lesson, and we just talked about it. This was after we filmed our last episode, right? We can count that time too.
Mhm.
Is separating our work life with our personal life. That was a big lesson. There were things that I didn't know that I was doing that I'm glad I'm now aware of, like getting content when it's appropriate, when it's not appropriate, and how important it is to prioritize your relationship and your personal and your mental health.
Facts.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. What was your happiest moment of this last week?
My happiest moment, I think the dinner we just had.
With Kayla and Freddie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was my happiest moment this week. I loved it. It was a good time. They made dinner for us. We went over and just hung out with them and hung out with Sebastian, and we had some wine and some steak, and it was very calm and relaxing, and I loved it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Would that be your answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a special night. It was special.
Yeah. It was awesome.
It was really nice. And then I was trying to do back bends in Walgreens on the way home.
Should we include that photo?
No. I took pictures of me and sent it.
I took a picture. I thought it was funny. What
and
about
then my only other happiest moment was running through the rain with you and Dad.
Yeah, and I didn't.
It was just like a moment I feel like it's like engraved in my brain. It's
Yeah.
like all of us trying to get through while it was pouring rain. And Dad was a little grumpy.
Yeah.
And it was just, I just kept looking back at Dad and front at Vincent, and I could just like picture their faces. And it was.
What about you? What was the learning lesson of the week?
A lot of learning lessons this week.
We learn every day.
Every second of every day. I just feel like this week I've had a little bit of a rougher week. Mental wise.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to, I think it's very similar to yours. Trying to tell my brain when it's appropriate to think about work and when it's appropriate to think about our actual life. I have a very big issue with being in a discussion with, say, even your sister. I'll just use her as an example. And say I'm talking to her, but in my head I'm really thinking about a deadline or reaching back out to a client. And so this week I feel like after our really good conversation about separating work from our personal life, I'm going to be more mindful of trying to shut that part of my brain off.
I think.
And really focusing on us, because bottom line, there is no Snap Duo without our relationship.
Yeah.
Like, our relationship has to be solid and good in order for us to do the work and provide the work and customer service that we do. And also prioritize, our family and just being present. Being present, I feel like, is like the biggest learning lesson.
I think a lot of people who own a small business, they don't talk about that part where the difference between owning a small business and say like a 9-to-5 job is, and we talked about it, is that, if you work a 9-to-5, you clock out at 5. That's it. And you go home to your family or to your significant other, and your work shut off.
Which is very difficult. I mean, it's a difficult thing
to
do, and we get that. We understand
that.
that.
And we're not saying anything about that, but what we're just saying is that, because we've worked 9-to-5s, and now we own our small business, so now we've done both, and so this is just our personal opinions of how we feel. And when you own a small business, that never turns off. It's 24 hours a day, because we could wake up at say 8 a.m. and we're messaging a client, and we message that client all the way until 12 o'clock that night. That's the whole day right there. And I don't think a lot of people talk about that.
I don't know if you heard him because you were kind of already out the door, but last night we were at my grandparents' house, and while we were walking out the door, my papa said, "Don't work too hard." And I turned around and I said, "What?" Because it just didn't process what he said. And he goes, "Well, I know that you guys will work from the moment you wake up to the moment you guys go to bed."
Yeah.
So And it just like hit me like, okay, he pays attention.
Yeah.
It's nice, you know, because there's people in our lives like his mom, my dad, that understand what we do. Like they've taken the time, our best friends, they've taken the time to really get to know what we do, see it. April, she's even lived it with us, and they know exactly what is the effort. Oh, it makes me want to cry. The effort we put in every single day to make sure that we give you guys good work and
Quality work.
Yeah. And that we're always, you know, in a good mood for you and ready to shoot and giving you our best. And so when people who aren't those specific people do say something about it, it's like, okay, you notice too, you know?
Yeah.
We really have a really good support system, and most importantly, we couldn't do it without each other.
It wouldn't be a duo. It'd be
It wouldn't be a duo. Yeah, I love you.
Love you too.
I love his business.
Yeah.
It's been a really big week of learning lessons.
More
and joy.
Yeah, more calm. Trying to be more calm. Trying to lower that blood pressure.
Yeah.
You know, try not to get it sweating, which I think right now I'm a little. These lights are very.
I'm starving, if we're going to be honest here.
We're going to Wendy's because today the orange creamsicle Frosty comes out. So if you haven't eaten today, go get a orange creamsicle.
Yeah, but I don't really want that for lunch. So maybe like we could eat somewhere else and then go to Wendy's for dessert.
Where do you want to go?
I really want Chipotle.
Oh my God.
Chipotle.
Chipotle's my life.
I really want Chipotle.
Chipotle.
All in all, I think we can end this by saying we work every day to make sure that we have good ethics for our clients. We always put our best foot forward, and we haven't gotten any complaints yet.
No,
so.
we don't just click a button. We don't just upload them onto the computer, and we don't just upload them into a gallery and send them. There's a lot of time, love, and care that goes into every photo and every video that we do send out. And I know we don't post enough about it, but you know, maybe we will over the next coming months.
We're trying, guys. We're trying to keep up with posting and editing and marketing.
It can get difficult trying to maintain the income of a small business, trying to keep it coming in while also working on weddings, wedding films, a gallery, graduation shoots, couple shoots, engagement shoots, but also trying to post on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, responding to clients,
having a podcast,
and also trying to have a relationship as well. It's a lot more complex than maybe it looks from, say, the outside, and maybe one day.
I don't think that there's always going to be people that don't understand. I mean, there's always people that think that we just sit at home all day.
No, and we really don't. I mean, we're very busy, and we always try to keep busy.
This is our full-time job.
We're very productive
people,
and we like to stay productive, and we like to.
I also like naps. But
we like to have new experiences because we know one day that we'll be dead. So we live every day to the fullest because you never know when it's going to be your last.
Correct.
That a good note to end on?
Yeah.
I think so.
Thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you for coming to this week's TED Talk at the very end of that. But
we appreciate you all. Make sure to follow our Instagram to see all these things that we're talking about at SNAPPDUO. And like, subscribe.
Hit that notification bell to get notified to get notified when we upload a new clip onto YouTube. And also, did you already say to follow us on Spotify and Instagram?
That too.
And all that good stuff.
Spotify, everything.
We're doing pretty well on Spotify. We're getting up there. I'm very happy about it.
Good to know.
Waiting for those sponsorships, though. So if you know anybody.
And if there's anything you want to see from us, anything you want us to talk about, whether it's weddings or whatever it may be, let us know, and we'll be happy to do an episode on it.
Yes, sir. So until then, we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.